Russian rocket attack on Ukraine's largest hospital last week destroyed most of the complex, killing at least 2 people and injuring dozens more. The strike also put sick children in greater danger and interrupted vital treatments. DW's Max Zander visited the hospital in Kyiv and spoke with medical staff trying to keep the wards running.
To many, Okhmatdyt Children's Hospital was a symbol of safety and hope. Until the Russian attack. Dr. Ihor Kolotka was performing a surgery on a young girl when shrapnel and glass came flying. After making sure his patient was safe and tending to his own wounds, he joined the search for survivors. He takes us to the impact site.
Це будівля, де були діти на діалізі.
The blast turned much of the hospital into a ruin.
Ми побачимо результати цього.
We will see the results of this later.
Тому що дуже багато дітей, які потребували.
Because there are so many children who needed help, who could not interrupt their treatment, and who needed very specialized treatment. In general, no other hospitals can provide the care that our hospital has provided.
More than 600 children had to be moved, a difficult task, especially in a healthcare system strained by war. Some patients will be treated abroad. Other hospitals have opened up to patients from Okhmatdyt. Among them, this hospital on the other side of the city. It was in the process of opening up a new oncology department. Then, 50 new patients arrived in one go. Like 11-year-old Vlad, who was diagnosed with leukemia half a year ago, he'd been receiving chemotherapy at Okhmatdyt Hospital. When the attack happened, he was there for a checkup, along with his mom.
I will remember my child's reaction to this event for a long time. When everything was falling, when everything was exploding, it was absolutely terrible. These sirens sounded everywhere. Then the fire alarm rang. It was very scary.
Vlad and other children were transferred here this same day. He should receive a bone marrow transplant in the next few days.
I'm in control. I don't cry. I don't get upset. That's all for my family's sake, so that no one is worried, and for the sake of the other children. And I believe that there's no need to be upset. Even if everything is bad in life, something can still get better.
Across the hall, we meet Olha. She's here with her daughter Anastasia, who's recovering from a bone marrow transplant and has Down syndrome and a related heart condition. She was supposed to stay in a sterile environment. The mother is worried about the impact of the attack.
Thank God there were no fragments, nothing. But the depressurization itself, smoke, dust, this is what the child inhales, and it's very harmful for her because it can cause sepsis in a child in this condition. It was very risky.
The doctors are now keeping a close eye on these patients. They say quick decisions and the help of volunteers on the day of the attack meant they were able to manage the situation without falling behind on their schedule.
At that time, after lunch, there were a lot of people in Okhmatdyt. I said, guys, if you want to do a good deed, follow me. And at 8 o'clock in the evening, we already had resumed the entire treatment process. At 10, I was already making the final round of patients.
The Russian attack on Okhmatdyt shook the nation to its core. But even now, work continues in the departments that have survived, and the state has promised to rebuild it entirely, to treat children in need.
Lesia Lysytsia is an eye doctor at Okhmatdyt Children's Hospital in Kyiv, which, as you saw, was bombed last week. Welcome to DW, Doctor. Well, where were you when the attack happened last week?
Hello, good evening. I was in examination room, which is on the first floor of our hospital in the building.
And what went through your mind?
Sorry, what was?
When you heard the explosions?
You don't have time for the mind at that moment, because you just do your ordinary work and you realize that probably something can happen because it was air alert. And I hear explosion next to the hospital, but I never think that it's possible that our hospital will attack. So at the moment of attack, I just see a flash and awful sound. And in this moment, you just think, oh my God, what's happened with my colleagues and patients who is next to me? At the first moment, it was scary. I can say truly that it's really very scary, but you don't have any time for emotions. You need to pick up yourself and thinking about everybody who is next to you.
Right. So, and is there a plan for this when a bomb explodes? Do you all have various places to go and things to do?
We have shelter where all patients go during the alert, but we cannot stop surgery. We cannot stop bone marrow transplantation, or we cannot stop treatment, especially oncology patients. That's why they stay in the corridor. So we have our protocol, what we should do for the air alert, but we don't have a protocol that bomb or rocket can attack our hospital. We know what to do step by step, but you never expect that it can happen with the hospital. That's why, and you cannot predict how much it will be damaged, how much and how seriously it can be, because it can be a part of a rocket, it can be a rocket, or it can be a bomb, and it can fall down in different places. We have a huge hospital, and it depends everything on this at that moment. That's why we have algorithm how we should do, what we should do, and with whom we should contact. But not like if the bomb fall down the hospital, you need to go to the director says you what to do. No, at that moment, everybody by themselves decided what they should do. Firstly, it's you need to realize that all your patients and all your staff is there in a safety place. But then you need to go to the emergency room, because it's a room where everybody with injuries will be in the next second. Right. And the third place where you can be useful, you can go to help with the damage and destroyed building.
Thank you so much for talking us through that. We wish you well. Thanks for joining us. Dr. Lesia Lysytsia from Okhmatdyt Children's Hospital in Kyiv.